Hey folks, I've got a Wuben XO to have a look at, show you and talk about today. Let's have a quick look at the box in the first instance. There's some information on the back there for us. We'll come back to that. And then we have our manual, USB-C charging lead and some spare O-rings. First impressions are, you notice the quality the moment you take this little light out of the box, and the attention to detail and the finish is absolutely spot on. So let me just linger on that subject for a second, and the closer we look, see how well finished everything is on that light. The tail clip's really sturdy. I couldn't even get it to bend out. Removable if you wish. This little contraption on the top here, that's the way you operate the light. But let's just have a quick look under here and see what we've got. Sorry, I was just trying to find my pointing device, i.e. a pen. Can we see that? Yeah. So what this little cover is doing, as we press it, this is the actual operation switch there, creating that light for us to see. And we've got a couple of slightly spring-loaded magnets there. That because you'd imagine this flap's going to stay up, don't you? But no, it's drawn by those magnets to kind of close itself, so it's not going to easily sit with that open. And then I'm trying to work this one out. A waterproof USB-C. There's no water seal on there, as you see when you close it. Really well finished little light. In fact, you can see my assistant over there, can't you? That's just him. Turn the light on and see if I can get that flap to stay open in there. There's our waterproof USB-C. As we can see, full of water, no problem. Let me get my other assistant and I'll come back to you in a moment. There we go, just wanted to get rid of that that glass there, because you know what's going to happen, don't you? I'm going to knock it over. And whilst the USB-C port on this Wuben might be waterproof, everything I've got down the back of there isn't. But that attention to detail there, I mean, obviously Wuben wanted this type of arrangement aesthetically and practically, and but how do you do that and keep it waterproof? Well, they've done it. Operation wise, you've got a few choices. There's some shortcuts from the off position, which I'll show you now. From off, it's 4 clicks to lock the light out. You get that little flashy there to tell us it's locked out, and then it's the same again to unlock. Again, from off, a long press takes us to moon. From off, 2 presses takes us to strobe. Another 2 presses to SOS. 1 press for off. Also from the off position, 1 click turns the light on. Hold and press, and we cycle through our modes. A double click at any point can take us straight to the turbo mode. A long press takes us back in to select, and then 1 click to off. And we've also got the strobe and the SOS chucked in there as well, if you want it. There's another function on the button that I need to show you, but to do that I'm just going to digress for a moment and have a quick look for the manual without turning the light on. And to digress just slightly, you'll see straight away there's two different versions of LEDs we can have with this light. I've got the Osram P9 1100 lumens, but you can get a 519C with a maximum 800. And the difference is one's got higher CRI, which is the 519, but I digress. So your outputs, regardless of the LED, are as standard 250, 50, 15 and 1. I'll pop that on the screen so you can have a look. But what I wanted to show you was this part here. So let's turn the light on and go to moon. Am I on moon? Yeah, now you see that seems a little bit bright, doesn't it, for moon? And what I've done, and you can do this in the moon, low, medium or high, one click and then hold. It's that little blink there. And what I'm doing, there's an allowable range within the moon, and it's 1 to 15. So I can go anywhere between 1 and 15 lumens on the moon, or in between, I can suit myself. Is that little blink there? And so long as I keep my finger on it, I can adjust that. When I'm happy with it, so I can have it as the lowest possible or the highest. Blink, take my finger off. Now my moon is set at 15 instead of 1. And you can change all of the other settings as well, apart from turbo. So I'll pop that on the screen, and what you'll be able to see then is the range in which you can adjust any of those levels. If you muck it up, it doesn't matter. There is a factory reset where you reset it all back to its standard as per those there. Now, a couple of other things to mention. At the bottom here, you can, with a pair of snap link pliers, something like that, remove that. Don't think it's intended by Wuben that you do this in the field, so to speak. And tucked away in there we have, not this one of course, an 18350 battery. And when I saw that I thought, no, surely that can't fit in there. But they've managed it. That's what this light runs off. 1100 milliamp version as well is tucked in there. And that is significant when we come and have a look at the run times, because one of the issues that you often come across with lights of this size is you're a bit limited, aren't you, on the size limits the size of the battery, which in turn limits your run times or stunts you a little bit on the power. But on our high mode there, we can run 2.5 hours. And that's why I was really pleasantly surprised to see that, yes, they had crammed the 18 size battery in there. And last but not least, here's my other assistant over there. Magnetic base. A pretty strong magnetic base as well. Has to be probably one of the strongest magnets I've come across on a flashlight. Don't think that's going anywhere, is it? Right, I've done enough talking, haven't I? And enough waffling on. Let's show you outside. Hi folks, so we're out with the XO. Let me show you a quick video of where I am. I'll show you what that blinking red light is as well in a minute. Let me go through our power mode. I left my moon at 15 lumens. You see kind of close up, we're doing okay, but let's up one and another. Starting to get a little bit more on the distance now on me, but certainly up close. Plenty of light there. And up another. Now bear in mind the run times you're going to get on this. what did I say it was? 2.5 hours. That's Amy's blinking red light, by the way. They're being black, I can't blooming see her half the time. So let's just scroll through. I'll move up to high if my camera will focus. Come on, come on. There we go. And then blammo, turbo if we need it. That's doing well, isn't it, for such a little light? And it's as much to do with the design of the lens than it is the output. And I think Wuben have done a really good job. We're going to get roughly around a minute on the turbo as well. Let me go back to high. I think that's probably where you're going to be using it most, isn't it, at that kind of level. Bear in mind, as I said, you can kind of adjust that if you wish. I'm not going to lose her now, am I? Look at that. Okay, let's move along to a different spot and have another look. Touch further on now, folks, with the XO. Let me put a picture of where I am. It's in memory mode, so let me scroll through down to moon. Bear in mind I set moon to 15 lumens instead of 1, and then up our modes. That's very, very respectable, isn't it? Plenty of close range light, plenty of run time. Perfect little pocket light for this type of thing. And then when you need it, there's that blast. 1 minute's worth of your 1100. I'm not moving the light, I'm just moving the tripod, and then cycle back through if my camera will focus properly. There we go. Up to high. Quick look round. Our immediate vicinity. Very impressed, folks. And let's have one last look. That blast of the turbo, should we need it. And you just wouldn't believe it, would you, for a light this size, giving out this type of performance, with a very decent 1 minute on the turbo and a very decent sustained output on its high mode. So let's have one last quick look on high. I mentioned at the other spot that I was in, didn't know, about the design of the lens perhaps being one of the, not most important factor, but a very important factor. And you can see the design of this lens there. Wuben have given it some thought and made the most of that 250 or whatever you've set it at, because you can adjust it, as mentioned, high level, and then fantastic use then when you jump to the turbo. We're even getting down into that distance, aren't we? So overall, very, very impressed with it. Very impressed. Catch you soon, folks. Bye bye.